Good evening, and thank you for tuning into Voices of Freedom, a special evening honoring the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., produced by the Adrienne Arsht Center for the Performing Arts of Miami-Dade County. My name is Traci Cloyd from Hot 105, and we are live streaming to you, coming from the beautiful North Beach Bandshell and the city of Miami Beach. We can't be together safely, arm in arm this year, so it is especially meaningful that the Arsht Center, with their partners, the Rhythm Foundation, and the city of Miami Beach, have found a way to bring us together virtually for this very special tribute to honor Dr. King. The man, his activism, and his teachings needed as much today as ever. The spirit of collaboration among these community leaders, coupled with support from Miami-Dade County, made this event possible. Thank you for believing in the transformative power of the arts to heal, to unify, and to create social change. If you find yourself uplifted, inspired, and moved by tonight's event, please consider making a donation to the Arsht Center so they can keep bringing free programs like this one to the community. The Arsht Center has created a monthly virtual artistic salon series, The Heritage Project, celebrating Black perspectives and voices, an annual Black History Month celebration, dozens of education and community programs, and they hope to continue this tribute to Dr. King each and every year. Your support can help keep these events and many more free for everyone to enjoy. You can give right now. Text this number, 41444, with a message, MLK Voices. Again, text the number, 41444, and then ask the words MLK Voices in the message. Any gift is appreciated. Give what you can. About tonight, did you know this is a very special moment for the city of Miami Beach? It's the city's first community tribute to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm so excited to be part of this momentous event this evening. So here is what we have to look forward to tonight. Through the arts, some of Miami's most extraordinary talent will speak to exemplify Dr. King's 6 principles of nonviolence. Nonviolence as a way of life for courageous people. Nonviolence seeks to win friendship and understanding. It seeks to defeat injustice and not people. Nonviolence holds that suffering can educate and transform. Nonviolence chooses love instead of hate. And nonviolence believes that the universe is on the side of justice. That 6th principle is the basis for one of Dr. King's most well-known quotes. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Tonight you'll see performances by some very talented members of our community. Through their music, their poetry, their art, they will pay tribute to Dr. King's vision of a united country, devoid of racism and inequality, and to his principles of nonviolent protest as love in action. We will enjoy a beautiful rendition of All Good People as sung by Miami Sound Choir, led by their founder, Laura Maurissier. Prepare to be emotionally impacted by acclaimed spoken word artist, Darius Daughtry, founder of the Art Prevails Project. You'll also be extremely moved by the Miami Children's Voice Chorus. They have graced the stages of not only the Arsht Center, Marlin Stadium, and Carnegie Hall, they also performed with Yolanda Adams at last year's Super Bowl. And we'll close out the evening with a special guest, the soulful Miami-based singer-songwriter, Kaylan Arnold, whose vocals were lauded by the Miami New Times as a warm, sonic blanket. We're so excited that she and all of our talented Miami performers are able to join us this evening. We hope you're inspired by the art and the artist's message, and that we leave you motivated to find your very own way of incorporating the principles of nonviolence. Whether it's through peaceful protest, your art and creativity, volunteering to help others, or using your own platform to elevate tonight's message, we hope that you will be influenced and help encourage others to choose love instead of hate. As we go along, please share with us. Tell us what you think. Send us your photos. Tag at Arsht Center at all social media platforms as you watch. And now, get ready as we welcome to the stage the Miami Sound Choir. They will perform Lift Every Voice and Sing, Also known as the Black National Anthem, which was written, by the way, more than a quarter of a century ago at Florida Memorial University by James Weldon Johnson, prepare to be uplifted by the Miami Sound Choir.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has taught us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
So I'm going to interrupt tonight's program for a very important message. Let's go back to last year, May 25th, in Minneapolis, where for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, a police officer, Derek Chauvin, had his knee pressed down on the neck of George Floyd. We take this time to remember those lives who have been cut tragically at the cut short at the hands of those with hate in their hearts. George Floyd was handcuffed, down on the sidewalk, gasping for air and calling out for his mother. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Never to breathe again. Breonna Taylor, shot and killed while she slept. Tamir Rice, shot and killed because he had a toy gun. Sandra Bland wound up dead after police stopped her for not using a turn signal. Walking home with a bag of Skittles got Trayvon Martin killed. Emmett Till murdered in Mississippi while visiting relatives. James Byrd chained by 3 white supremacists to the back of a pickup truck and dragged to his death. And that list, sadly, goes on and on. Their lives all mattered. Think about the end result of hate and violence. Think about the kind of disruption we just saw last week at our nation's capital. We all saw with our own eyes in real time what happens when an angry mob resorts to violence. 5 people, including a Capitol police officer, lost their lives. That moment was the antithesis of Dr. King's 6 principles of nonviolence. Think about the result of violence and observe, really observe, the impact of just thinking about the violent deaths of Dr. King and countless other victims. Now try to put yourself into the shoes of their relatives, their friends, members of their communities, and others who were connected to these victims, all of them targeted by those with hate in their hearts. We all see what can happen when people are really willing to do this with hate in their hearts. The gunman who lined up Dr. King and took him away from all of us. Let's take a minute to silence. Let's take a moment of silence to look in our hearts and reflect. We believe this disruption in our tribute to Dr. King was necessary to remind you of the violence he faced, the kind of hate that found its way into a gunman willing to line himself up in his sights and end the life of another human being. On this holiday weekend, it's easy to remember Dr. King as a man with a dream. It takes a lot more discipline to do the work all year long to embrace his 6 principles of nonviolence. We hope this disruption will remind all of us to be active in our pursuit of incorporating these principles into our own lives. Remember, we need to choose love, to love each other, because we're all part of one race, the human race. Now let's continue on with our program. As you know, there are many leaders in this community that believe in the power of the arts for social change, its ability to inspire and unite a community. They made today possible. Our center continues to work with programs like this to make it possible, and we want to bring you into this with us. At this time, we'd like to give a special welcome to the CEO of the Arsht Center, Johann Zietsman.
Thank you, Traci. You're such a fan and a friend of the Arsht Center. Thank you so much for sharing your time and talent with us. We're very lucky to have you. During this time when we cannot safely come together physically to commemorate Dr. King's legacy, it is truly the Arsht Center's privilege and honor to produce this tribute and to virtually, being the safer way these days, unite all corners of our community through artistic expression. The past year has proven that there's undoubtedly much work to do towards fighting and ending racism and hatred, and the extreme anguish and divisiveness that it causes. As a South African who grew up in apartheid and participated in the fight to end it, I also personally witnessed the transformation that is possible. Difficult, yes. Filled with conflict, yes. But possible when we come together to actively and peacefully combat hatred and inequality. Dr. King gave us some very important tools, the 6 principles of nonviolence, which we can all use in our lives today to do our part. The Arsht Center is committed to doing its part in becoming better advocates for change in our community, and we will continue to lift up Black voices through the work on our stages and in our community. And events like these that galvanize us and inspire each of us to be the change. Thank you for tuning in today, and most importantly, for your role in living Dr. King's legacy. I want to also thank our collaborators, Rhythm Foundation and the City of Miami Beach, and of course, our friends at the Miami-Dade County for their generous support. They all share our commitment to building community. And with that, I turn it over to Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniella Levine Cava and Miami Beach Mayor Dan Gelber to share a few words with you. Thank you again, and good night.
We celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his commitment to achieving racial equality without the use of violence. Ultimately, by connecting our community through the arts and amplifying the voices of the community, we can accelerate the fight against injustice and find equality for all by championing the principles of nonviolence Dr. King lived by every day. This tribute will reaffirm the idea that nonviolent organizing is a way for us to seek friendship and understanding with those who may not see eye to eye with us. This gives us an opportunity at redemption and reconciliation and strengthens the bonds that tie us together so that they may last well into the future. We'll also be reminded of the fact that suffering can be the impetus for the education and transformation of entire societies, and that we need not answer such suffering with acts of violence or retaliation. In the decades since Dr. Martin Luther King was taken from us, his teachings have been handed down to each new generation of Americans and have provided all of us with a roadmap to bring our communities into greater alignment with our values of equality, liberty, and justice for all.
We are paying tribute.
The transformational teachings and words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. are as important today as when they were first uttered. Only days ago, Americans watched with horror as their fellow citizens violently assaulted not only our capital, but the rule of law, challenging the underpinnings of our democracy. But their violent and wrong-headed outbursts were not returned with more violence or commensurate rage. Rather, they were greeted with condemnation and then calls for unity, for peace, and for justice, for restoration of the rule of law. Our democracy is more durable than the sorry events at the Capitol because of Martin Luther King. He taught us as a nation that nonviolent protest must be the way of change, that in many ways it's more courageous than the cowardice of the violent and of any bully. The path and teachings of MLK have an equal vitality today as they did more than a half century ago. So the best way to celebrate him and his legacy is to live his ideals in our own lives.
To confuse the pacifist for passive or weak, and he that wields the sword or gun in hate as mighty, is to fight a losing battle. For in the face of injustice, humanity's greatest attack weapon, mightiest armor, and most strategic way of being is the heavy axe of love.
Breonna Taylor,
Trayvon Martin,
Tamir Rice,
George Floyd.
Their blood is on your hands.
So slash because of hatred. Lives forever change because of their absence.
Killed by the ones who claim to defend.
See our faces, raise our hands, down on our knees, at our backs. We just wanna breathe. Oh, we just wanna live.
Enough is enough. You know, I heard they say, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. And me, I choose to take a stand right here. Mississippi's burning, psych, but I ain't a liar. I was just a little confused because the country's on fire. The whole world can see what's going on. Wait, except for a select few eyes right here in our very home who refuse to see the world for what it is today. They neglect the systematic oppression of an entire race just because it don't affect them. It don't hit close to the chest. Why should they be concerned with another black man's death when blacks kill blacks all the time, justifying that hate behind the disguise of black on black crime? Stop it. This ain't the time for us to become divided. We got a better chance when the entire front's united. So is this the American dream or a white supremacy thing? The alt-rights, the neo-Nazis, or a Klansman scheme? They took off their hoods and they put on a badge, cause under the shield there's no need to hide under the mask. So now they detain, beat, and lynch us in the broad daylight. So, do as you're told, don't speak, just comply, or else they got just cause to take a black man's life. Moments pass, they make a widow out of a black man's wife. Like jail or the grave is the only black man's right. Revolt, you know what, man, this black man just might kill us, but you cannot kill a black man's life. So racists, come at me, make this black man's night, cause for my people, you gon' see this black man fight. So I wrote a letter to George Floyd just to update the brother on what's going on around the world today. We got protests, riots, militarized police, tear gas for those who try to protest in peace. We not gonna stop, we gonna stay in these streets till this whole corrupt system is brought to its knees. We paid freedom's price, but equality costs more. They locked up thousands, all they needed was to lock up for. Your life brought joy and hope to your little girl. Your death brought change and inspiration to an entire world. We've had enough, we're tired, we're fed up. Young brothers and young sisters, please keep your heads up. We want so many things that America won't give. We want to love, we want to grow, we want to breathe, we want to live, we want hope and freedom just to be ourselves, and we don't want to be a threat to anybody else.
Bro, he's not moving.
We got allies, so many others got our back, and they fighting with us, even though they're not all black. Some people quote Martin Luther King to get us to stop, but he protested peacefully, and he still got shot. So I drop these words in the form of a song for you and so many others I can name, but the list too long. Hands up in unity because our fist too strong. No justice, no peace. Now is that so wrong? And to the oppressors, all lives matter should be true, but all lives can't matter until black lives do.
He is human, bro.
I cannot breathe.
The house we've built is strong, despite its crooked foundation. We've found ways to stay in our own corners, sometimes waiting until parts of the roof give way to the rain, all of us getting wet, by patching the leaks and holes of mistrust and false assumption, the things lost in translation, with openness, curiosity, compassion, and grace. Can we as a blended family extend hands and embrace, laying new bricks, with acknowledgement, accountability, and decency as fortified pillars, transforming our house into a loving home.
We are paying tribute to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We are performing poetry, making music, and gathering today on land that was taken from the Tequesta, Calusa, and Seminole indigenous peoples, and we name them as the native people of this land that we stand on. The generational enslavement of Black people occurred on this land to build and to profit off of this land. And because of that, we have institutionalized anti-Blackness everywhere. It is always important to remember the violent history that brought us to where we are today and pay our respects to the native people and descendants of enslaved Black people who are here now and still suffer and struggle for their rights and justice in this moment. People have paid tribute, made music, performed poetry, and gathered on this land for a very, very long time. And they still do today. We name them and we acknowledge them to help us remember and to begin to take the steps to heal from the wounds of colonialism and to move toward our collective liberation.
There are dogs in the yard howling at the moon. There are sinners like me. Our judgment's coming soon. And I stand at the bottom of this dark and lonely well, saying, please give me answers so I might escape hell. I watch from my window as they gun down unarmed men. Try to say it's not my problem, it couldn't happen to my friends, but the truth is they're my brothers and they're my countrymen. And if we lose a pair of angels, we won't get them back again.
Come on and raise your voice above the raging seas. We can't hold our breath forever when our brothers cannot breathe. Come on and raise your voice above the raging seas. We can't hold our breath forever when our brothers cannot breathe. Oh, 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 oh. Our brothers cannot breathe. Oh, 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 oh. Our brothers cannot breathe. All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Won't you come around? All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Defend your brothers. All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Won't you come around? All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Hold up each other. All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Won't you come around? All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Defend your brothers. All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Won't you come around? All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Hold up each other. All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Won't you come around? All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Defend your brothers. All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Won't you come around? All good people, won't you come around? Won't you come around? Hold up each other.
In this overrun American garden, with deep-hued blooms suffocating, to cut down individual weeds would only create the illusion of balance and change. For in time, more ugliness would spring up again and again, each time with greater force. Only in unearthing the root, the system from which that weed has sprung, unknowingly in its ignorance, will the collection of flowers and their variegated beauty blossom fully in the light of the sun.
I'm so damn tired of writing poems like these. I'm good at it though, at writing poems like these, penning pain, making paint out of chalk stains. This pain, and I hate it. Like black bodies, concrete, like black body and bullet, like black bodies in white imaginations, like black-bodied boys being berated, batons beating, bullets burning, backs, bowels, blood boiling, That's mine. My blood boils because I'm writing a poem like this, and I hate it. Though I'm good at it, like the shake I learned from watching Akeem the Dream, you get a lot of practice dreaming. You get good when you have a lot of practice dreaming, dreaming, dreaming. Repetition must be the father of invention. I've been writing poems like these in my dreams. You would think the resolution would be different, but it always remains the same. Bleak, grainy. The protagonist never prevails, not even in the sequel. Ain't no Deus ex machina saving nobody. No black bodies being lifted except on the 6 broken shoulders of some other black bodies because they done took another one. Somebody's son, a little girl, a body that don't claim either has returned to the galaxy. Become legacy on t-shirt, wall, following pound sign or number sign, whatever you want to call it. These names keep trending. These black names we always set in trends keep moving the culture list. The vultures just feast on carcass, carry on, but we keep carrying on. We done upgraded though. Strange ain't just fruit no more. We familiar. And they no more herbivore. They require pounds of flesh and numbers. And we're repeating hashtags now. Seems like we're looking and waiting for the next Trayvon. Literally the next black body, birth certificate branded Trayvon to become trending because they done took another one. They want it and they get it. In black bodies, in black tears, in black moments spent in unnecessary worry, moments spent on poems like these, odes and sonnets, haikus, slipped into obituary inserts, church pew psalms and turned into dirges now, into Tupac verses now, into poems like these where we see no changes. Oh, you thought this had some hope-filled resolution? Revolution ain't made of hope. It's made of Holy Ghost anger and Alhamdulillah rage, a ghetto girl's box cutter, Smiley stutter, and his flame. Do the right thing. There's some brothers on the wall now. Is that a reason why it doesn't get burned to a crisp? Or is that why the match gets lit? The door gets kicked in, this poem gets written for the brothers on the wall, the sisters on the wall, for all who have to fall before the rumble or rubble made any sense. Doesn't make any sense to keep writing poems like these. I don't know. One day, I hope I won't have to.
An eye for an eye leaves two partially blind, two sets of hands sullied, and readies the palate for a vengeful lust upon the tongues of those who love them. To willingly endure suffering is to reach the depths of freedom from one's ego, and is the essence of unconditional love. Through his unwavering devotion, culminating in the ultimate sacrifice of his life, our king turned a mirror onto the people, and those with the courage to look could no longer deny the cracked image reflected back at them. And the line was pushed forward. Though we continue to bleed, reconfiguring the broken pieces of glass in the frame, eyes across the world continue to awaken to our shifting reflection, and within it, see themselves and join hands, partnering for a better tomorrow. My black is. My black is not bad. My black is sad. My black is mad. My black is hurting. My black is confused as to why this keeps happening. But my black is endurance. My black is here, present, gift. Still here fighting for peace. A piece of the American pie that we made in the first place. Still fighting for justice. Just us fighting. And we need your help. Enough is enough.
I am a human being. My life matters. Enough is enough.
Been treated unfair and treated like we're not human. Tired of being watched just for the color of our skin.
We're tired of police brutality, tired of seeing bloodshed in the streets, tired of a system that's broken. I just want to live and be free. Yeah. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Ooh. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Oh. Enough is enough. Ooh. Yeah. Oh.
Enough is enough. I'm tired of the chatter from privileged folks saying all lives matter when police spill our blood, spatter after spatter. So all lives can't matter until black lives matter. They use the word all to mute black voices, to ignore our pain, to render us voiceless. But since they won't change the mantra they quote, let's use our voice when we vote. Vote for no tolerance for deadly force on unarmed black folks. Our vote is our recourse. Vote for change, oppression must fall. Enough is enough, black lives should matter to all.
Enough is exhaustion, enough is sick and tired, enough is deflation, enough is weak and mired, enough watching violent videos, enough just saying their names, enough of remorseless police, enough to shifting the blame, enough is rising up and taking a stand, enough is living loudly, black fists for hands, enough looks like me, enough looks like us, enough is 2020, my God, enough is enough.
I'm so tired, sick and tired of being tired. Enough is enough. Oh, every day I'm tired. As a black man I am.
Tired of dying in the streets, tired of saying I can't breathe. How many more
crack of whips, bullets in turned backs, the trail of a storekeeper's steady eye, scrolling through timelines of pale knees and feet on necks. We've watched and swallowed, feeling the rumble of rage in our bellies. The ulcers we never asked for and never deserved. They fester, eating away at us. Poison we drank with the hope that their bellies would ache. But holding tight to that familiar rumble, our bellies ache still. And we pass the rumble down the line like peas at the dinner table. And though we smile through it, and dance through it, and sing through it, that ache is a slow death from within. Let us instead feast on love, nourishing ourselves and our enemies alike. The weight of the collective karmic debt is a heavy load, laden with I'll show yous, stay in your places, and no coloreds or dogs allowed. But for every action, there is reaction. For every cause, an effect. For every tear shed, a seed watered. Watering seeds of peace peace we shall one day harvest. For every curse, every slight against another, is a slight against our highest selves, our truest selves. It's proven to be the long route, but in taking the higher ground, we ascend, steadfast, in alignment with the universe and its creator.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Let's overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome someday. We shall overcome someday.
sports community in South Florida also continues to reel with no relief in sight.
Yeah, no one has any idea when shows can resume here or if people will even want to go to the theater right away.
Clearly, people who are safe at home are looking to be entertained while they're comfy on their couches.
Arsht at Work, an effort to help affected artists and other job hunters with important interview prep.
Absolutely free for anyone in the community.
The first online commissioning program in Miami-Dade County created to inspire new performing arts work in response to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Closing out the evening with a specially gifted artist, the singer-songwriter Kaylan Arnold. She's about to drop her first CD, Hydrate, on January 21st. We are so proud and so happy to have her here this evening as a part of tonight's tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King. Please give it up for Kaylan Arnold.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. Said it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling good. Said fish in the sea, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. River running wide and free, you know how I feel. Said it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. feel, don't you know? Butterflies are having fun, you know how I feel. Oh, sleep in peace when the day is done. That's how I feel. And this old world is a new world, and a bold world for me. And I'm feeling good. So it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kaylan Arnold. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here and to share the stage with such beautiful, amazing talent and energy, and also to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King and to highlight his 6 principles of nonviolence. So for this next song is an original of mine called Somebody Needs It. It's about the importance of love and what it can do for others. Here we go. Let's get into it. Yeah. No, 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 yeah. Yeah. Check. Said, oh, don't let up. Said, keep on rocking till the day is done. And when the sun comes, ask yourself what you were running from. You can't believe your eyes all the time. You'll find there's blessings in disguise. I know it hurts, but that's why we rise. Said, oh, when you say you love, make sure you mean it. I guarantee somebody needs it. Yeah, I said we all need love. We all need love. Yeah, love. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And yes, we were created, it was planned from the start. So anything you say, make sure it comes from your heart. And before you point your finger, make sure you know who you are. Find the light even in the dark. Said work hard, play hard. Just cause you wonder don't make you lost. And if you watch what you say, that don't make you soft. It's on and on, not on and off. So when you say you love, make sure you mean it. Cause I guarantee somebody needs it. I said we all need love. We all need love. Love to the band. That was beautiful. Very excellently done. All right, so this next one is called DGU, and it stands for Don't Give Up. It's on my debut album, dropping on the 21st of this month. Let's get right into it. Yeah. I could never turn off my love. Said I know the sun comes out tomorrow, even if it don't for me. That's why I give everything. Why I take a flight over a diamond ring and pour myself out in every line I see. Said, baby, it's nothing for you to get right back up and dust yourself off, 'cause you are enough. I know it feels like forever and it gets lonely for us, but I believe you really matter, so don't you dare give up, yeah. Said, yeah, I know sometimes it rains and things just start to feel the same, but I promise you're not the only one. We all fall, but we get up. Yeah, said, hold on. Just trust that your time will come. Baby, it's nothing for you to get right back up and dust yourself off, 'cause you are enough. I know it feels like forever and it gets lonely for us, but I believe you really matter, so don't you dare give up. Rich. So don't you dare give up. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Yeah. I wrote that song sort of as a note to self for when things get rough, because I know that it is a message that everyone can relate to as well. So this next one is called Hope. It's by Emily Sandé, and it speaks to me on a spiritual level. So let's vibes it. Check. I said, I hope that the world stops raining, stops turning its back on the young. See, nobody here is blameless. I hope that we can fix all that we've done. I really hope Martin can see this. I hope that we still have a dream. I'm hoping that change isn't hopeless. I'm hoping to start it with me. And I just hope I'm not the only one. Said, I just hope I'm not the only one. I hope we start seeing forever instead of what we can gain in a day. I hope we start seeing each other, 'cause don't we all bleed the same? I really hope someone can hear me, that a child doesn't bear the weight of a gun, and I find the voice within me to scream at the top of my lungs. And I just hope I'm not the only one. Said, I just hope I'm not the only one. Said, louder. Said, I cannot hear you. How can things be better left unsaid? Said, call me a dream.
that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes it will. And I just hope I'm not the only one. And I just hope I'm not the only one. Thank you. So for this last record is called Bleed the Same. It's a little bit self-explanatory. The energy hopefully speaks for itself as well. You ready? All right, let's turn it up. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Say na 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 yeah. Na 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 yeah. Na 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 na. Say, I said we bleed the same blood. This energy can't be contained. We're never giving up. Yeah, I said, every time I open my eyes and turn on the TV, I hear the sirens. Make them know we won't be silenced with violence. They've tried it. Some don't even know the reason that they're fighting. Some will only see it as a black and a white thing. Some don't believe that the temperature's rising. It's real and it's frightening, but we bleed the same blood. This energy can't be contained. We're never giving up. Yeah, I said we bleed the same blood. Energy can't be contained. We're never giving up. Yeah. Well, I say na 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 yeah. Na 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 yeah. Na 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 na. Woo 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 woo. I said na 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 yeah. Na 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 yeah. Na 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 na.
And meaning performances honoring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King's 6 principles of nonviolence. I want to take a moment to thank everyone who's been a part of this production this evening for joining us for this very special tribute to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's up to all of us to live his legacy, to spread his message through the art, through love, and not hate. Again, we encourage you to think about how you will apply and adopt Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s 6 principles of nonviolence. Make them your own and use them to fight against racism and injustice. Thank you once again to everyone who made this event possible. The Arsht Center, City of Miami Beach, the Rhythm Foundation, Miami-Dade County, and our media sponsors, WLRN, TD Ready Commit, MD Denise Simmons, and the team of MD Simmons Productions, and of course, the incredible talents we had here this evening, Mommy Sound Choir, Darius Daughtry, Sherretta Ivey, and the Children's Voice Chorus. Thank you for supporting us and these artists this evening. It has truly been an honor and a joy. The Arsht Center is partnering to create a better community and advocate for the kind of change Dr. King envisioned. Remember, you can give right now. Text this number, 41444. 41444 with the message MLK Voices. Again, text the number 41444 with the message MLK Voices. Every little bit helps the cause. We appreciate it. Give any amount. I'm Traci Cloyd. Thank you again for joining us, and good night.
Yeah, said we bleed the same blood. I said this energy can't be contained. We're never giving up. Well, I said, yeah. Na 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 yeah. Na 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 yeah. Na 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 na. put this together. And be on the lookout for my debut album, Hydrate, that comes out on the 21st of this month. God bless you. Be safe and good night.